going to do some happy haunting. In this kit, it comes with the sign, which is super cute, and it starts to introduce the colors that we use in this design. And then from there, we're going to pull in some ribbons. The kit comes with full rolls of ribbons too. And so I've got a great multi-stripe, a solid orange, and of course that green polka dot. You're going to love how this comes together. Pulling all those cute colors in too, we're going to have a number of picks. I have got this one cute, this little bat, because, you know, when you're happy haunting, why not be a little batty? And of course, some glitter curly sprays. Oh, and I forgot, the most important part is you get this really neat wreath base. And this is so special because it is flocked and it has that neat texture, a light glitter, but that sets the base for such a great foundation for the design. And all of that comes in the kit. Yep, you can get it right here from us. We'll drop the link in the comments if you ask, or go to our text list. If you just text us KIT to 832-734-5201, you'll get all our latest kits and you can pick the one you want. And don't forget, if you spend over $100, you always get free shipping. And if you're a design school student, you start getting access to discount codes at the $100 threshold. So go check the dashboard in the portal if you're already in our class. So hey, and if we haven't met yet, I am Khalid. Nice to meet you. If you like this video, make sure you subscribe, you come back for more, and when you're ready to take your wreath making to the next level, please come join us in design school, where I love to spoil, teach, and mentor you in all the ways so you can have the most beautiful home in the neighborhood. And yep, when you're ready to sell your work, I'm happy to support you on your journey that way as well. I mean, when I saw this bat, I was like, we gotta design something around this. This guy is so cute. So that's where we came up with our color combo and picked our ribbons and the whole collection from. And I knew I really wanted to pop the green on this design so we could have like a ton of that glitter and fun going on. So the only thing you don't get in the kit will be like your glue, your cable ties, your wires, stuff like that. You'll have to have that in your stash, and you'll need some scissors and wire cutters to make that happen. But once you kind of get into the creative spirit and you start doing more and more crafting, you're going to need those anyway. So let's get started. Now, with your base, when you get it, the first thing you want to do is kind of shake hands with it. So I'm going to take and just open these up a little bit, separate them out, and they're all wired, so you don't have to panic too much because they're nice. And they've got a good body to them. And once you kind of spread that out a little, we're going to put our sign just right through the center. Putting on a sign is not sexy or pretty or beautiful, but it has two built-in hangers here, which work perfectly to line it up with the base of the wreath. You could use wire, cable ties is what I'm going to use today. If you use something darker, like this is a dark brown, it's not going to show up as much in here. And one of the tricks for putting this on is just start with one side, okay? And then we can level it out with the other side. You don't have to panic. Now we're going to go into the frame of the base here. So I'm going way into the frame, and I'm going to get this one side on. It's going to look wonky, don't worry. You're not going to tighten it all the way. You're just getting it kind of hanging there starting. I told you it's not fancy, but this is the way you get it started, okay? Now, I'm going to bring the other side over, and I'm going to wiggle it. Now, I can move the greenery behind it, that black greenery, move it around to get it where you want it. And now I start to work on, is it level? Is it how I want it? I'm going to come in from this other side, and you're going to come and go through the hole again over here and do the same process. I'm sorry if I'm blocking your view, but you get my drift. You get the drift. You get the gist. I'm coming in through the wire frame because I needed to hold it and not let it sag down too much, okay? So get in a little tight. Now, it's not real tight yet. We just kind of got it hanging there. Now, your next job is while you're wiggling this in place, and I like to do this instead of flat on the table. I like to do this hanging on my wreath stand so I can know exactly how it's going to sit. I know I want it here. So I'm going to hold it where I want it and start to tighten these up equally so I can keep getting it a little tighter. Yep, a little tighter. And because we use those dark cable tie, you don't even see it. Look, there it goes. And once I'm happy with it, it's in, I'm good to go. Now, I'm going to take and pull out my pine on either side because I want it to be kind of equal. All right, so I'm going to pull this out here. Basically, you're fluffing. Okay? Hey, I love that. Just like that, boom, sign is in. Once the sign's in, we're going to want to get our bows in next, okay? And we're going to use a combination of bows and ribbon tails, and by the magic of boom, here they are. And guess what? Yeah, I did a separate video for you to be able to learn how to make these, and we'll link that below. You can always check the supply list for the projects too. They always have the extra links to all the videos. I know I want to put our bow that we made down here in this white right-hand quadrant. Start down here. And it doesn't have a lot of long tails. It has a couple of little ones that we did as a fun little treat when we tied off the center. So this guy is going to go right down here. And I want him to kind of be hanging off the side a little. He has a cable tie on him also. So I'll just come in here and we're going to attach this to one of the actual greenery pieces coming down. Just pop that in there. How cute is that? I'm going to get that nice and tight because I don't want it to be able to pull off. And that'll be our first accent we're putting in. Now, you can ask Design School. They will tell you, Clea doesn't really like to put in bows before the elements are in. I don't, but I realize when you first start creating, it's an important part because you need to know kind of the space they're going to fill up. And then later when you join Design School, I will tell you all the tricks for helping you know what's going to go, where they're going to go, and how we're going to pop them in. Now, I'm going to trim this tail too off a little bit just to match this one. And I think we're looking pretty stinking cute so far. All right, now we're going to go opposite of that and we're going to put one of our tails in. So this is kind of like a tail bow. It's a way to add tail clusters to your design. And we're going to do the same thing. And it's going to go way up here, all right? And I'm going to attach it to some of the same pieces and get it in there. So you do need to use cable ties for this one because we want to hold on tight to the greenery that's in here and make sure it's snuggling right in and poofing out. Look how cute that is already. I'm loving it. And then I'm going to cut the cable tie for the sign. I never came back and did that. I got it. Now let's go opposite that over there and we'll get a good distribution of all of our color. I think right there or here, you can decide. You can even make 3, whatever you want. But I'm going to go over here, okay? Kind of coming down a little bit. I got to go to the other side. Come over here, buddy. Really tight. Pull it to the front. I want to make sure it's holding on. If I were you, I might take a little glue and just make sure these aren't going to pull off any of these pieces. Especially if you have to kind of put it towards the tip of a piece where you feel like, oh, it's not holding on to a lot. We can always put a little glue in there to make sure it's going to stay. Okay, let those tails go wild. I love that. All right, now really the hard work is done. The bows are made, they're put in, they're fluffed however we want them. We still have a lot of ribbon on our rolls because your kit comes with full rolls. So you can make more or less or add more touches of the ribbon if you want to. Now it's time to get our bigger elements in, which are our cute little bats. They go in next. And as much as I'd like to just glue into here, we really have to wire because we want to make sure they go in and they don't get pulled out. So you're going to take and grab another cable tie. I pulled one out. And so use a dark colored cable tie so we don't want to see this. And I'm going to run this right through the frame of the wreath. So this is a little bit more tedious construction, but I will say it holds up a lot longer when things are wired and not glued. So it's a really nice professional way to put your design together for the long haul. So I'm going to bring this one in here, make sure I've got it behind my cable tie, and then I'll just pull this tight. Okay, now I didn't cut the stem yet because I want to be able to bend him up. See how cute? I want him looking up. Now that I know where he's going to be, I'm going to trim the cable tie and trim that stem because we want it to like look so cute at us. You do look cute, buddy. All right, so I'm taking those 2 pieces off, and he's in. Now, we're going to work opposite him with this little girl. She's going to come up. She's going to go into the frame of the wreath also, and then I'm going to take and cable tie her down here. And I want her to kind of come up So you want to use the wires. You see how I'm still working in my shape? Once I picked a direction, I stayed with it, and everybody's kind of floating around, right? They're flying. These little baddies are in here. I think these baddies eat glitter. They're not into the blood sucking. They just like cute little glitter fangs. Let's get it in here tight. You can use glue too, but the thing is, if you do, you're going to have to hide it. And you'll have to have some additional type of plan to kind of hide the mechanics. So the cable ties that are dark colored just disappear right into the background. And let me trim the stem off on this one. You can also actually, instead of trimming this, I can actually weave the stem in to the base. Just bring it in here, and you could use more than one cable tie if you need to hold it a little bit more. Just get them bending, and I like how they're kind of flying around, okay? Easy, we got that part done. Now, your next part, these are going to be our curly picks. So you're going to want to take every one of these and fluff these out. And they're going to work in between all of the pieces we have in here. So we've got 6. That means we can use kind of 3 on this side of the wreath and 3 on this side. So what I'm going to encourage you to do is just go ahead and put them in first, okay? You're going to tuck these in. You need this wreath kit because this comes together very quickly. It is adorable. I'm literally just tucking these in right now. Now, we're going to put one coming out of this bow because that is so cute. Right beside here, kind of part of the bow. And that'll kind of tease those ribbons up right there. Look at that. Now let's work our way down. One right behind our cute little bat. Right here. And then 2 more over there. Let's go around. Come on, come on. Let's put one up in here. Look at this. And 1 more down. So once you know exactly where they're going to be, my next step is going to be to tie those in. So grab more wires or cable ties and we'll start putting them in. Just reach into that base. You're going to tie it right to the frame because you know it's exactly where you want it. I like, as long as you use those dark cable ties here, you're not going to see a thing. And we can come back and trim that off from the back later. You don't even have to trim them yet. Here comes my next one. Grab them right close to the base when you tie them on, okay? That way we know it's in there tight. I once sold a wreath to Universal back in 2017 that was similar to this. Lots of glitter, cute, had like a little skeleton hands with glitter, and it was just sweet and simple. And it was really cool. I got to see, I knew I had sold a wreath to Universal, but I actually thought that it probably went to somebody who worked at Universal. They were just having it shipped to work. You know, I didn't know that it was actually going to be used in their Halloween Horror Nights, one of their scare zones. And so I saw it later on another YouTuber's video. Shout out to Tim Tracker. I love Tim Tracker and Disney, and he also does Halloween Horror Nights stuff too from Universal and Universal content. So it was different than this, but similar, where it had this color combo. So I just thought about it, and I didn't even celebrate it a lot of the time because I was just so excited. I should have documented it and been shouting it out to the world, but I was just like, Tim Tracker just showed my wreath, and the girls were little and we were all in the living room, or actually we were in the kitchen, and all of a sudden we were like screaming out, "That's my wreath! That's Mommy's wreath! That's Kiki's wreath!" It was so cool, so cool. And I was like, yeah, I did sell it to Universal, but I sold stuff to corporations before, but never thinking that they were, I just thought somebody there was buying it for them, I didn't know it was going to be a prop. How awesome. I'm still working my way around. I'm halfway there. Just takes a little patience, but you know what? You're going to end up with the nicest finished design. And because of the way this base is made, it's really lends itself to this type of construction. So let me come over here. Here's our little pick we put in. I'm going to try to put this one a little bit deeper. So I'm going to put this one behind it, and then I'll come back and put the bow in. So there is something to be said, but potentially just waiting a little bit for tying it in. I want the bow to be a little bit deeper than I put it. Okay. And then you see here, I can trim these off once they're tied in. They don't need to show behind. Just trim it off. Alright, bud. You look good. You look good. Let me put my bow back in. I want to put this one a little deeper. So I'm going to add the cable tie back to the back here. We'll just take it a little bit more to the base, so it sucks in a little bit more, because I'm going to put this curly pick coming right out of it. Yeah. Maybe a bit of the black. That gives it a little more depth in and out. And this one I've already tied in, so we're just going to bend it and have it come right out of that bow. All right, that's our last one. For our last one, yay! Let's put this one going up higher. I'll move that tail. Get in here, move your tail, buddy. You gotta talk to this stuff, guys. It's kind of like when I'm in my garden, how I love to talk to my plants. Same difference. There you go. Trim them off. Okay. Alright, let's get in there. Now it's time to play with the curls. That means you can pull them out a little bit, have some fun with that. You gotta fluff out your bow and make sure it's pretty. That's one of the reasons I had put it in early, because then you have to fluff it and fluff it. But you know what? When it's this cute, it's gonna turn out a winner. It's going to turn out a winner. Are you ready to do some haunting with us? I think your door needs a cute little haunt like this. Adorable. I know you can make it yourself. This time you don't even really need glue. We just use cable ties. You can use wires, but you can see how easy it is to attach it with cable ties. The darker the color you get, but you can get black at your hardware store. It'll help hide all your mechanics, and you can make one just like this. All right, Wolverinos, I'll see you next time. Let's have fun with flowers again.